Alright, so today we're going to be moving from word formation stage to sentence construction stage, and on this stage here is the outline I have for us. So firstly, there's going to be introduction to phrase, clause, and sentence, and we're going to be talking about sentence rules. We move down to number 3, which is on punctuation marks. Number 4, we're going to be looking at pass to a sentence, and number 5 is going to be sentence structure, whereas number 6 is going to be sentence function. Okay, and finally introduction to question and answer. So there's going to be a lot happening on this very stage, because this stage is the stage that most everything in English language lies. Okay, so it's from sentence you talk about comprehension, it's from this sentence you still talk about speech, talk about conversation, talk about podcast, talk about whatsoever that has to do with speaking and writing is directed to sentence. It's very important you pay a very good attention on this stage. Every Monday now is going to be for question and answer, and I don't want you to miss that. Make sure to be here, okay? And if you see me for the first time, hi, thank you for stopping by, and please don't forget to subscribe. And if you're a returning subscriber, hi, thank you for stopping by, and please let's start for today. So firstly, I have this written like this because I want it to be detailed and as well simple to understand. Okay, a phrase are a group of words that can have this or this but cannot have the both. That's a phrase. Then we talk about cross. A cross, we have this and as we have this. Okay, so that's why most time we can liken a cross to a simple sentence, because a sentence is the combination of phrase and cross that gives us a sentence. Okay, so this cannot jump this to this, all right, but this can be equated to this in simple terms. Do you understand that? Because the reason for this being likened to a simple sentence is it contains a subject and a verb, but not an object. Okay, but a complete sentence will contain subject, verb, basically, plus an object. All right, so that's it. Let's talk sentence properly now. When we talk about sentence, we're talking about group of words. Yeah, group of words that are put together that gives us a meaningful idea, like the putting of the combination of words together to convey a meaningful message, meaningful thought, to express your idea, to tell what you know, how you feel. Like it's all about expressing a meaningful thought. That's what sentence entails. Okay, so we have passed to a sentence, and there are 5 of them, okay, that we're going to be looking into on this stage. But there's rules, like I said, that guides sentence. So the 5 of them is subject, verb, and object, then complement plus modifiers are the remaining 2 that are not on this board. The essence of having this on this board is these ones are the ones that most subjects, in fact these 2, every sentence must have it. Every thoughtful, meaningful sentence must have these 2, and this one as well. This one can be skipped, but these 2 can never be skipped if it must be a complete, meaningful, thoughtful expression. All right, so that's it for sentence. Now, having said the past to a sentence, so let's look into what we call sentence rules. Sentence has a lot of rules, but I'm going to tell you the basic ones that we need to know for this very stage, like the basic ones. All right, then as we progress, we're going to be talking about others. Firstly, a sentence is supposed to start with a capital letter and end with a full stop. That's where the punctuation comes in. All right, so that's it. Now a sentence will begin with a capital letter, then it's going to move to stop with a full stop. this is an indication that this is where this very sentence stops and the next ones now begin. Okay, that's the essence of this. Another sentence rule we are going to talk about is the fact that every sentence, like I said, must have this and this. It may skip this, but these both are a must for every sentence. All right, so now let me still tell you the comma, the punctuation number 2 here. We're going to be looking, there are so many other punctuation marks, but these 4 are what we're going to be talking about on this lesson. And then as we progress, we're going to be talking about other ones. Okay, so now we have the comma. This comma plays a role of, this is a cross, okay, and it tells you that this sentence is not yet finished, but when you read up to this place, you pause, then you continue. That's what this comma does. For instance, you can see, when we were walking, you know, that sentence wasn't complete. When we were walking, in the process, so that's where you use comma. In the process, you now continue the remaining sentence. Okay, now we have the next one, which is the exclamatory mark. This mark comes when you're trying to express your feeling. Okay, I'm trying for us to do this introduction in a detailed way so that by the time we are into this, because we're going to be breaking down this to the last part of it. Okay, everything you're seeing, we are talking about, seen on this board on our course line, we're going to be discussing it on this very stage. So this exclamatory mark is used to express feeling, like how you feel. Okay, then we have question mark. As we know, this is used to ask questions from the way it sounds. It's for questioning. Okay, this indicates if you are asking a question in a sentence. So so far so good. I've been able to tell you past tense, sentence through, and sentence punctuation marks. Okay, so if you are not confused, let's take it back again. I said a phrase plus cross equals a sentence. To identify or differentiate between these two, a phrase has either, it must not have the two, either a subject or a verb. Okay, whereas a cross has both of these. That is why sometimes cross can be likened to a simple sentence. Then I made mention of the fact that phrase plus cross equals a sentence, and sentence rule states that for a sentence to be complete and meaningful, it must have a subject and a verb. It could skip this object, but it must have a subject and a verb. All right, so I made mention of the fact that these punctuation marks here plays vital roles in sentence construction, because this very one, which is full stop, tells you that a sentence is stopping here, and a sentence must begin with a capital letter, then end with this. All right, and I made mention of this comma, which is used to tell you that this sentence is not yet finished, but you need to pause here and progress. I gave you an example. Okay, that is to show that this is still in process. All right, then I said that this exclamatory mark, this mark, we call it exclamatory mark, is used to express feelings, how you feel about something, your very mood at the very point, how you feel. Oh my god, like wow. All right, then I have question mark right here, as it implies when you talk about question, it's used for questioning. Okay, so this is what we have discussed so far. So let's progress. Now we have what we call sentence structure. When we talk about sentence structure, we're talking about how it is being put, how sentences are positioned, how sentences are being seen. We have the simple sentence as it sounds, very simple. I made mention of that this cross could be likened to a simple sentence because it doesn't contain much. It contains subject and verb, period. Then sometimes it's gonna have an object. Okay, so we call it simple sentence because it has just little, it's not lengthy. Okay, then we have the number one, the number two, which is a compound sentence. As the name sounds, it has like other roots, other added to it. And another one is complex sentence. As it still sounds, it's still wild. It's not a kind of simple sentence. A kind of simple sentence you could talk about, you can say this is a ball, I am a girl, Obi goes to school, she's dancing. All these are simple sentences. As you can see, the she, the dance. All right. Okay, so now let's talk about the last one, which is the compound complex. The compound complex is a mixture of the number three, that is the complex and the compound mixed together. So we have basically four sentence structures. Number one is simple sentence. Number two, compound sentence. Number three, complex sentence. And number four, compound complex. Okay, that's it. Now let's move to sentence function. When we talk about sentence function, when you are trying to convey a message or trying to express a feeling or say what you know, there are usually motive for doing that, and there are process you should go for someone you're talking to understand. Okay, that's the function we're trying to talk about. So we have certain sentence functions. One of them is declarative function. Number two, we can have imperative function. Number three, exclamatory function. And number four is interrogative function. So we're going to be explaining all this in detail in this stage, and we're going to be doing it with examples, and like we're going to be super detailed about it. Okay, so the essence for this introduction is for us to know the basics, to know what to expect, to know what to look out for, so that when we see a particular thing, will be flowing together. Okay, so it not be kind of, when you say English structure and function, we are like, what is going on? Because most times these are the challenges we have. We have challenges when we talk about functions and structures. Okay, so know it right now that English has structures and as well has functions. The structures, when you talk about the structures, the way they are put so that you can easily identify which is which. Are we talking about simple, compound, complex, or compound complex? You talk about function, what are you trying to achieve? Are you trying to give, like, state a mission or give a command? Are you trying to ask a question, or you're trying to know about something? Okay, so that's it. All right, so I hope you got something on this video, and thank you for watching. See you soon.